Was it like the first time you met Michael Jordan?
So, MJ retired with the shot Game 6 in Utah. I was drafted that summer.
The year I came out of college, got drafted, he retired. He just won the chip. So I was like, I'm playing against MJ. This is my dream.
And I'm thinking, I'm about to play against my hero, against my idol.
That was my idol.
Right.
So I was disappointed.
And then he retired.
And so then he retired. I was like, oh, no.
And I'm like, oh, no.
You want to see this in person now.
Right.
I've just missed my hero by a few months. So he didn't come back for the lockout year in 99 and 98, 99. So I didn't get a chance to play against him. And then
he came back.
He came back with the Wizards a few years later.
So I remember I was coaching at the NBA All-Star game, actually here in Atlanta.
So 2003 in Atlanta, MJ's last All-Star game.
2003, my first All-Star. Jordan's last.
That was actually Michael Jordan's last All-Star game.
I think it was Jordan's last All-Star game.
The NBA, if you would, kind of encourage, hey, it's probably a good idea that MJ starts in his last game. That was a no-brainer for me.
This next All-Star has just asked to be replaced in the starting lineup by Michael Jordan. 6'7" forward from the Toronto Raptors, four-time NBA All-Star, Vince Carter.
You go through all the protocols, and I remember walking in.
You in the room with
You walk
everybody.
in that locker room, it's like...
That All-Star game, when you look around and you think about the guys who were on the court back then, what do you guys, that was a crew.
You sitting back and you like, damn, this is the best of the best in here.
It was a special group of guys on that floor, but,
And you had to try to create your swagger amongst a bunch of swaggers.
Mm-hmm. It was so many OGs still making it because they was OGs making it.
You got the OGs in there. The OGs always yelling and talking.
All of the festivities. You know how All-Star Weekend is. This is bananas. And
MJ was coming.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can hear him coming.
Was he glowing when he walked in?
Bro, like listen, you hear him, like the cameras and the noise. You hear him coming down the hall and. Yeah. It's so funny because all of us in there sitting, now we feel like we big dogs too. MJ walking there, it's quiet.
And get puppy in there.
Listen, this is a cold thing. He walking by like this.
Mike make all the big dogs be like,
straight up. Listen, dog.
I walk in and I said, hey, MJ, it's your last All-Star game and everything. You're going to start. I was the leading vote getter. And I gave my starting position to MJ.
To me, that's what I felt was the right thing to do. Go to the man himself and give him that position. Now, when I did that, Michael tells me no. He's like, no, you earned it, you go ahead.
I said, no, you don't hear me. You're going to start.
I said, Mike, look here. I am not walking out here on this court tonight and start on this court and you are sitting on the bench.
Because I didn't want to get blackballed. I didn't want the NBA and the world like, how is
How did you take MJ's spot?
Yeah, how is he not starting his last All-Star game?
Yeah.
So he's like, no, you earned it. Go ahead. So I go back in, get dressed.
I was sitting on the bench with my uniform on, buttoned all the way up, and I was going to sit in the bench. I'm not going out there.
Well, Michael, all weekend your teammates have been trying to give up their starting spot. You politely have said thanks, but no thanks. What changed here at the last minute, and did Vince Carter surprise you?
That's exactly what happened. Vince surprised me. I started walking in the back, and they call him out. Boom, he walks out, starting lineup, and everything good.
Of course, he was a little up there in age, but it was still amazing.
Shit, that's amazing.
That is, though. But that was a dream just to be on the court with MJ.
I don't care what Michael wanted. This is how it should be. Michael Jordan should be starting the last All-Star appearance in his career. Deal with. Then you talk about Michael Jordan finally scoring the basketball.
Now Shawn Marion of the Phoenix Suns, who just came out, is guarding Jordan. Michael hits the jumper, and he just said about time. Jordan with Garnett back. Michael Jordan with his third field goal. Michael Jordan able to hit the fadeaway over Gary Payton. East television, as we showed you earlier. Here's Jordan. Yes.
Michael is actually having fun right now. He really is. He wants to hold on to this lead. He wants to win the game with the Eastern Conference, and he's playing very, very hard right now.
It's Michael Jordan. 16 for Jordan.
I grew up watching him.
Here's Jordan with the change of pace. And rejected by
Hey, Mike, you got to shoot it quick. I'm getting to that foul all day long. Oh, I know you ain't talking. I know where you're going. You got to get up quick.
If you knew where I was going, why you go for the fake?
Mike, after you face the ball, where else you going to go?
You left your feet.
Yeah, but where else you going to go?
In the game, I go for you.
I spun all the way around.
I go for these ribs right here.
I grew up having that same type of edge and competitiveness.
I ain't got no hands. 4, 3, 2. That's all right. Hey, you know, I shoot them better when the clock going down.
Michael and I both know there's certain players that we can intimidate. Certain players are afraid.
And misses on the first. Kobe at 83% free throw shooter. 10 1/10 seconds.
But every now and then you run into a player that has the same DNA that you do.
Remaining, Bryant.
Has the same competitive spirit that you do.
When I face him, we're going to go at it.
Here's Jordan with a flip that goes home.
I was right there the next play.
Oh, the steal by Bryant took it out of the hands of Kidd.
So I think he was the same way.
We're down 1. We take a timeout, and you know I'm diagramming the play for Jordan to get the last shot, and I know where he's going to get it at. I'm gonna put him on the box, and he's going to do his little thing, turn around and knock it down. Of course, we do it.
The game is tied at 1:36. They have the full clock, and apparently there was a problem with the clock. It just stopped.
The shot clock should be turned off right now. They can run it all the way down.
Well, we're down to 10 seconds remaining in overtime, and Michael has the ball, again guarded by Shawn Marion. The fadeaway, yes, has just given the East a 2-point lead.
He goes on and hits his historic fadeaway.
And Michael has the ball, again guarded by Shawn Marion. The fadeaway, yes.
Anytime that All-Star game is played on TV or talked about, that memory sticks to me because it was just historic in my mind, historic for all the fans who are watching to see MJ do his thing one more time in an All-Star game. We tried our best. We're yelling, stop the game, stop the game.
Next play, they call a timeout. I called them over. I said, hey, you know, this is Jordan's last All-Star game. You know, it'd be nice to let him go out on top. He looked me dead in my eyes and goes, oh, he got to earn it.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere.
Garnett will inbound, the East up by 2.
So when we matched up, I think he understood that.
Up by Kidd, played by Bryant, who fires and is fouled.
Kobe gets fouled in the corner by Jermaine O'Neal. Now Kobe's going to the foul lines.
Hits both free throws.
We went in overtime and they beat us.
And we lose.
Getting congratulations now from Kobe Bryant, who made the free throws to send it into the double overtime.
And I think he saw that level of respect.
You know, Kobe made a couple of free throws. He could have easily made 3 in a row to end the game, but we had a chance to go into overtime, and they had more energy than we did down the stretch.
That was a $20,000 fine right there. I remember that. That was a $20,000 fall. We would have won 20 more thousand. We won that game, man. I was pissed.
Oh my
we
God!
We ended up losing that game, but it was memorable just watching MJ for the last time in the All-Star game, and you know I grew up watching MJ and shooting the fadeaway, and he hits it right there in that moment. All-Star game, we were like, NBA, this is it. This is how you close in error in an unbelievable career from MJ. But
Jordan stands out because it was his last one, but Mariah Carey stands out too in that dress.
Yes.
Look inside you and be strong, and then you finally see the truth. See that a hero lies in you. That a hero.
So many great stars still in the game, so many great stars rising and playing the game. I have passed on the things that Dr. J, some of the great players, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, has passed on to me. I pass on to these All-Stars here, as well as the rest of the players in the NBA.